crash happened so quickly. That car seems like it came out of nowhere. You fell before you even realized it was slippery. Injuries can happen before you have any idea that you're in danger. And then it seems like the calls start. Insurance adjusters wanting a recorded statement. Doctor's offices wanting to know how you're going to pay for those medical bills. And your boss wants to know when you're going to be back to work. In the meantime, you're left dealing with pain, medical appointments, missed work, poor sleep, and an insurance claim process that feels way more complicated than it needs to be. If you were hurt in a car crash, trucking accident, work injury, or some other serious accident in Soldiers Grove, Crawford County, or anywhere in western Wisconsin, you need to know some things early on. A Soldiers Grove personal injury lawyer can help you understand Wisconsin personal injury claims, auto accident laws, premises liability rules, product liability statutes, and important legal deadlines that may apply to your case. I'm Craig Steger. I'm a personal injury attorney with more than 20 years of experience handling serious injury cases, including trials against big insurance companies and corporations. Here are 3 things you should know after a Soldiers Grove personal injury. First, you don't have to give a recorded statement without speaking to an attorney first. You definitely don't need to give a recorded statement to the other driver or property owner's insurance company. Insurance adjusters are trained to make it sound routine or that they just want your side of the story. They'll try to sound friendly and they'll probably tell you the claim process can't move forward unless you talk to them. But if you're in pain, on medication, recovering from surgery, getting poor sleep, confused, or just overwhelmed trying to figure out what happened, a recorded statement can create some problems later on. Early on, you may not yet know the full extent of your injuries. Your doctors may not even know. You may not know if there was witnesses and what they saw or heard, or whether there may have been video that captured some or all of the accident. You probably don't know yet if there was some sort of defective condition that may have caused or contributed to the accident, or whether there was some safety rule that was violated. And you may not know whose insurance company is responsible and whether they provide coverage. So before giving a recorded statement, you need to understand who's asking for it, which insurance company they work for, and whether you're legally required to give it. Second, try to photograph and document the scene as soon as possible. This is especially important when an injury arises from some sort of temporary condition. If you fell on ice, it gets salted or just melts. That broken step that had been like that forever, it suddenly gets repaired. Wet floors get mopped. Cars and machinery get moved, repaired, or sometimes lost entirely. If you could do it safely, take photos and video from multiple angles or have someone do that for you. You want to show the condition that actually caused the injury. That would include the surrounding area, any vehicle damage, the particular equipment or machinery involved. You want to show the physical evidence before it changes or disappears. Get license plates, and if there's any names, logos, or contact information on the machines or vehicles, you want to capture that as well. You want to get names and phone numbers for any witnesses, and you want to write down what happened in your own words while it's still fresh in your mind. Also, remember that there may be surveillance video that captured some or all of what happened, but that video doesn't last forever. There may be a nearby gas station, home, or other business. That video needs to be requested quickly. Otherwise, they generally get deleted or just recorded over. In a soldier's personal injury claim, video evidence can be the difference between a strong case and one that the insurance company denies entirely. Third, and probably most important, get medical attention and follow your doctor's recommendations. This is not the time to tough it out. If you're hurt, get checked out. Make sure you tell your medical providers what hurts, where it hurts, and what kinds of things make it worse. You don't need to exaggerate, but also don't minimize your injuries either. If it's your neck, make sure you let them know that your neck hurts. If it's your back, make sure they know which part of your back, which side, and what kinds of activities tend to make it worse. If it's your shoulder, knee, head, ribs, hip, whatever it is, make sure you let them know that as well, even if some of your injuries hurt worse than others. If your symptoms get worse over the next few days or certain activities make it worse, make sure you let them know that. If there are things that you're no longer able to do or you've stopped doing, Make sure you let your doctors know that as well. Some injuries are obvious right away. Others tend not to show up until the adrenaline wears off, sometimes hours, days later. Follow the treatment plan, go to your appointments, and if therapy is recommended, do the therapy as well as the home exercises. You don't want to stop midway through therapy if you start to feel better. You want to follow up with specialists if your doctor refers you to them. Insurance companies love delays. They look for gaps in treatment, any missed doctor's appointment. They look for any excuse to argue that you weren't really hurt, or if you were, it was minor and you probably recovered very quickly. Good medical care helps protect your health, but it also helps create that important documentation needed to prove what this injury did to your life. And here's one more thing. If the injury is severe or a loved one died because of someone else's carelessness, the rules change. You may need a personal injury lawyer and a wrongful death lawyer, depending on the facts of what happened. If you have questions after a serious injury in Soldiers Grove or the surrounding area, please talk to an attorney as soon as possible. The consultations are going to be free. And if you want to understand what happens next, watch the next video on the screen or pinned below, where I explain the entire process of a Wisconsin personal injury claim from start to finish.